Good evening. We have the March 12th meeting of the Board of Selectmen. Welcome, everybody. And very busy month. Happy Easter, happy St. Patrick's Day, both, and this month, I guess. And Palm Sunday, too, yeah. Okay. With that said, we'll call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance first. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. See, Joe, you forgot that you were down. Okay. And of course, as normal at our meetings, the emergency exits to the side door there, which most of us normally use, leads you out to the rear parking lot. The wall that the clock hangs on is the stairway up that will put you out onto Orange Center Road, and straight out the back will put you into the parking lot by the fire department. With that said, we'll have introduction of our board for the night. We'll start on this side. Selectman Okenquist is under the weather, so we're a short one member tonight.
Mitch Goldblatt.
Ann Petty, Secretary.
Vincent Moreno, Town Attorney.
Good evening, Joe Blake.
Anthony Nastri.
Good evening, Judy Williams.
Very good. We all passed that test. Okay. Public participation is for anybody in the audience who wants to speak for any item that is not an agenda item. You have 2 minutes to speak. I think everybody who's here is for posted items tonight. Relax. Will you relax? Let me get through this. I know you want to speak, sir. Okay, Mr. Selectman Blake, I know you would like to speak. We'll let you go first tonight. Don't go too quick. We're all right.
I just want to make a comment that I noticed in a publication recently that James, our first selectman, complimented a group of individuals who are going to do the pond, repair it, whatever has to be done over in Old Tavern Road, and I thank Jim for that publicly, and as chairman of many committees and projects down at the High Plains Community Center, I just want to publicly thank a few individuals who painted a room down there for us just recently, and when they volunteer like this and they do the work, not only does it give self-gratification, but we also save a lot of money, and a lot of times when we want something done, we can't do it because the money isn't available, or priorities dictate that it goes someplace else. So these individuals were Baxter Walsh, myself, Jim Molsey, Bruce Mitchell, Joe Curran, and Angelo Cavalier. Angelo Cavalier, a remarkable gentleman. He's well into his 80s. I think he might have said he was 85 years old, and it shows you out there, it doesn't matter what age you are, we'll take you as a volunteer and help us out. And even last night at the fireman dinner, Jim complimented, which we all believe we should do, is compliment the men and women who serve in our volunteer fire department. The town is fortunate to have so many volunteers and boards and commissions and all that serve so well in the town, and they get a lot of help out of it. They love it, and we save an awful lot of money and get a lot of work done. So publicly, thank you, Nashville, for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Joe. And, that was what you saw in the paper from me was just one project. There are some others going on. And a case like this was a room that Community Services has cleaned up, and they moved the one pool table they had, and there's another one that was donated very generously by a resident of the town. And there were some other games, I'll call them foosball, air hockey, games and all, and they've been kind of stuck in the hallway over there at High Plains, not really with a home. And these guys, through the direction of Community Services, took it on and cleaned up their room and painted it, and it's become a game room, I'll call it. So, yeah, thank you to all of them. That's truly a great job they did there, Joe, and thank you for reporting on that, because I knew it was going to be done, but nobody ever told me that it was done or who did it. So thank you, and any of you, when you participate in that, please feel free, because these people who help the town like that are truly a good thing. Public participation. You're kidding. Holy smokes.
Would you like me
Okay. Okay, I do have just a few items here for tonight. And of course, we start always, and if any of you ever know somebody that I miss who passes away that has been a member of the community and done something, but since our last meeting, Mr. Bill Fulbrook passed away. He had been a member of the board of the Greater New Haven Transit, Justice of the Peace, Economic Development Commission, Building Board of Appeals, Democrat Town Committee. I don't know what else, but he was very involved. He was town manager, I think, or finance manager for like Seymour somewhere. He was really a terrific guy to talk to. He was really a terrific guy, and he passed away. And Harry Musial, who lived on Mapledale Road, he was the chief ground superintendent for Yale Golf Course for many years, and he was quite an avid gardener, and he loved music. He belonged to that German singing society down there at University of New Haven, and he appeared last year at the Pasta Festa for the Senior Center and worked his way through a operatic tune, and he was really a terrific guy. He used to come to the farm and see me about plants, and he had a great passion. He would come to the fair and spend hours in the flower tent talking to people and vegetables and all, and Harry passed away last week also, so our thoughts go out to both of those families. It's very sad there. And then also our thoughts go out to the Seminella and Zeffie families. We're all aware of these two young men from Amity who had an unfortunate motor vehicle accident and passed away last week, and our thoughts go out to both Seminella and the Zeffie family. It's terribly tragic for Amity and the town and all the kids and all of us who know them and their families. Town Hall will be closed on Good Friday, as is the norm. It's one of those holidays. Saturday, March 15th at 12 noon at the Community Center is the annual Lions Club Easter egg hunt for all the little ones out there. They throw thousands and thousands of eggs. I hope the weather is cooperative. Jeff Fox was a little iffy at 6 o'clock news tonight, but I certainly hope that it is a clear and reasonably warm day because the kids do enjoy that. But with an early Easter, sometimes you get a little crazy weather. This is the 96th anniversary this week of the Girl Scouts of America. Just so everybody knows. None were able to attend. They were supposed to attend tonight, and then something came up, and they were unable to. But the week of the 9th to the 15th is Girl Scouts of America, the founding of their organization. Some of you have seen the articles in the paper, and there's a box upstairs for the Baghdad collection. And the Baghdad collection is doing quite well. They've already emptied the box out a couple times, and I just came by there now, and there's a whole bunch more in there. And they look for things like Bengay and Icy Hot and peroxide, Pepto-Bismol, Pepsid, Tagamet, Malox, things like that, diapers, baby formula, baby, toddler, children clothing, shoes and socks, infant and children's Tylenol drops, infant vitamin drops, Ace bandage, not pads, but the roll, bandaging, burn creams, things like that, even small toys, kickballs and soccer balls, things like that, small things that can be shipped, but they're coming over here to the town hall on a regular basis, picking it up, and from here they're collecting here in William Orange, I don't know where else, and then it's going to be shipped down to New Jersey and then be flown over to Baghdad. Denise Murdo is spearheading this one. She has two sisters over there that are Army or Air Force nurses. I'm not sure which division, but they're running a couple of the hospitals over there, and that's how we were made aware of that.
Excuse me, Jim, do
Yes.
we know when the drive is going to stop?
The
End of March?
End of March.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Ann. Tribute tree applications are in the clerk's office, and I found out this year's tribute tree is Eastern White Pine. And so if there's anybody out there that has a very large white pine in their yard and would like to enter it into the, I'm doubling up. I'm doing tree committee and tribute tree. I got two going at once here. The tree committee's tree is going to be the Eastern White Pine. The tribute tree, which is in honor of or memorializing somebody, those applications are also available in the town clerk's office. We had John Van Arman, worked for the town for many years, and John has retired, and we wish him well. They had a good send-off for him last Friday night, and a lot of happy people to send him off. And John, we wish you well. Get in your motor home and go away. And and bring Ruth with you. And then last night was the installation dinner at the Grassy Hill Lodge for the Orange Volunteer Fire Department. They installed a new slate of officers, have worked their way up the ranks, and the new fire chief is Charles Gagel. So congratulations to Charles. Comes from a long line of family members into the fire department services. So with that said, if there's nobody else who has anything for public participation, we will move on to the public hearing. So we need to get a motion to close and move into public hearing on this item. Very good. Very good. All in favor? Very good. This is a public hearing to consider and act on amending the code of the town of Orange in regards to the inland wetlands and watercourses, section 81-2. Ann, you want to read the?
Town of Orange, notice of public hearing amending section of code. Notice is hereby given to the legal voters and those persons qualified to vote in town meetings of the Town of Orange that in accordance with Section 3.4 of the Charter of the Town of Orange, the Board of Selectmen of said town will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, March 12, 2008, at 7:30 p.m. in the lower-level meeting room of the Orange Town Hall, 617 Orange Center Road, Orange, Connecticut, to consider amending the code of the Town of Orange, Chapter 81, Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Commission, Section 81-2. Commission established, membership, terms, removal. A full copy of the ordinance with the proposed amendment is available for view in the Office of the Town Clerk, Town Hall, 617 Orange Center Road, Orange, Connecticut.
Very good. With that said, we spoke about this last month, about reducing the number of members. You heard both the chairman and the enforcement officer, who are both in the audience here, about the difficulty of getting a quorum, and by reducing the number of members also makes the quorum requirement number less, and it just really, the couple people, we're already below the number due to a resignation. Well, actually, both resignations. One member moved out of town, and one person has some family duties that were taking up much of his time. And was there a third, Scott, or not at this time? So we're at the number right now. Okay. So I don't know if, I know, Mitchell, you had a question earlier today. You called in on this.
Actually, my question I called in today had to do with the minutes, and we'll take up
Oh,
that
it's not
later.
here? Okay.
No, but I do have a question or a comment about what was put together, and I think it may just be an oversight.
Page?
Well, 81-2
Okay.
is the section, and that's the section I think is the only section that's being changed here.
Yep.
I believe that what's intended is that the terms of the 7 be staggered, and it doesn't state that here, and that they coincide with the terms of the selectmen. I'm not sure how that's worded. In other words, typically they're appointed 30 days or 10 days after the first, well, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there's got to be a starting time for the 4-year term, and also that the 7 would be staggered, where since they're 4-year terms, 3 would be appointed, and then 2 years later, 4 others would be appointed. You know, you can leave everybody on there now that's got there, but, you know, I think like most other commissions that have 4-year terms, they are staggered, and I think it should be written that way, and also when that term should begin. And I believe, and you'll have to help me out here, I think most of the boards and commissions are maybe 30 days after the election of the first selectman. I'm not sure the exact, a lot of them fall into the same amount. So that's, I think that should be in here somehow.
Are they 2-year terms currently, or 4s?
4.
They are 4s, okay.
And they are staggered now.
That's not changing.
Right,
I didn't think it was.
but is that
Why are
in
you
here?
confusing me?
Someplace else.
Is it in here somewhere else? I don't think it is.
I'm seeing, in the first paragraph, A, at the expiration of the initial term of office, each commission member should be appointed to serve 4 years. That was how it was set up originally when this was designed, and we weren't changing that.
All right.
So that's staying the same, it's just a reduction of the number. Nothing else has changed with that.
But then does that mean that the 7 members remaining are going to be 4-3. I mean, it could be a 6-1, which I don't think is the way this should be set up.
What are you talking about?
Well,
Since it's already staggered, why would it change at the end of 4 years?
We weren't going to touch the membership that's there.
Okay.
We've dropped by attrition, I'll call it, to the
6-1.
appropriate number.
Could be 5-2. Let's say, I don't know who's staying on, who's getting off, and it's not important to know names, but I wouldn't want to see 5 members that are remaining of the 7, which is possible, 5 members' terms expire at the same time. Thank you, Ann. And then 2,
I think Scott's going to answer that, because I don't know, quite
we
honestly.
need to set up as a 4-3 is what I'm saying. If it doesn't coincidentally or hopefully fall that way.
R. Scott Allen, for the record. The skinny guy.
Oof.
5 members actually had a reappointment on December 9th of '07. So there were 5 of the 9 anyway that were, that's the way the staggering had gone. So we're going to stagger some more, just as we have.
So, of the 5 that were appointed December 9th, which is probably 30 days after the election of the first selectman, are all 5 of those going to stay on?
2 of them have resigned.
Okay.
Yeah. And what
Excuse me,
it-
no,
Yeah. One of them.
one of them resigned, the other one, his term was not up yet. So
Then that's fine, then you'll have the
It'll
4
stay on-
and,
it'll
or the
stay on.
4
we're
and
going to
3.
stagger, that's not changing, it'll be a 4-3 stagger.
It'll be 4-3
And it
staggered.
happened to be one of each political party, if that makes a difference to you.
It doesn't as long as it still meets the minority representation.
I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's,
Of the 7 remaining then, are, I think, Vinnie, help me out, I think, are any more than 5 of one political party? It'd be
Couldn't
5
tell
or
you.
7? Pat O'Sullivan in
They
the
are?
back is saying yes, so it could be,
It'd be 5-2.
could be 5, okay.
Quite honestly, we're probably the least political board in town. I have no clue.
I understand that, but I want to make sure that there's no more than 5 of any one political party of the 7. There could be 6 of the 9, there can only be 5 of the 7. So I want to make sure that the membership stays that way.
Well,
You're thinking,
I'm not sure if, I don't know what a couple of the people, I have no idea what their affiliation is.
All right, and it doesn't, and if they're unaffiliated, it doesn't matter, because it can only be of one political
Well, I
party.
didn't say they were unaffiliated.
Okay.
I just don't know what the ones are that the members are that are sitting.
And I can't answer that.
I know a
Never checked.
couple, I mean, I do know a couple of them, but I don't know all 7 of them. Patrick's up and running, so I know where he's headed. I mean, what we'll do is, if there is an inequity imbalance, there are a couple others that are,
In the wings?
you know, thinking of not necessarily staying on, so we can balance it if we need to.
Okay.
That's not, it won't be a problem.
It
I don't know what it is.
probably isn't.
The balance is covered elsewhere. It doesn't have to be in this statute.
No, that's kind of a side discussion of this, actually.
That's true, but the idea is that the commission members who are on now are going to stay on, which makes sense if there's a 9-member commission, that doesn't change anything. When it goes to a 7-member commission, if 6 of the 7 are of one party, they could not all stay on. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. That's in accordance with the
Right.
town
Okay.
charter.
So, more importantly, I asked the town attorney then to just put in some language, which I don't think will change any of this substantially. I don't think we'll need another public hearing. I would just ask that a line be added that say that the terms be staggered with 4 and 3, 1 month after the election.
Membership should be staggered. such
Membership
that
be staggered.
As we go forward, you have any trouble with that? We can put somebody on a short term if we have to.
Like I said, I don't even know who's who. I do, based on what you told me, I do know that
No,
we
it sounds okay,
have
though.
one of one that
That I know.
was
If
reduced.
5 were appointed this year, and one of those is stepping down, that means this term will have 4 people, so that's okay. That'll work, coincidentally or fortunately.
Now, what are you doing to us, sir?
Shall we wait for
That'll
Patrick
work.
before we?
It'll work, but it should be in, it should
Well, it's
be in
going to
there.
be staggered
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
It will-
the-
it will
it's the
stay that
job-
way then.
It's the job of the first selectman to make appointments. When he makes those appointments, he has to be cognizant of the rules under
Yeah,
which
of who they
those
are.
appointments are made and whether they require
Okay.
staggering or what. So that's part of his job, and you don't have to put it in every statute.
No, the staggering has to be in the statute, because otherwise, It could fall out differently.
I think you just have to realize the staggering with the minority representation in effect.
All right.
That's it.
If I need one, I'll put you on the board. Okay. All right, you may have to
you heard
become
that.
an affiliate, and we can use you either way.
Push you anywhere.
Then you're a free agent.
So is that acceptable? I mean, do you understand?
I understand what you're saying. I'm just thinking from what you're going to be doing going forward is you currently have a 9-member board, which you're reducing down to a 7-member board.
right.
However, you will not be making any appointments to this board because
No.
2 have fallen off
And put us right where we want to be.
right where you want to be. But from an appointment standpoint, the next appointments will not be made until December of
09.
09. Correct.
Correct.
So from a staggering standpoint, you would say consist of 7 members to be staggered 3 years commencing December, 3 members commencing for a 4-year term
You could do that way.
2009, because you're not doing anything now.
Okay.
And then, staggered
The
from
four.
that point forward.
But that's already the rule if you're going to a 7-member board.
Well, it's the rule, except you're not articulating in the
Okay.
statute
statute.
the way that they articulated back in the 70s, which is what we
Right.
omitted.
And the way I think it's articulated for Park and Rec and for Library Commission, and all the other boards that have 4-year terms
So it's-
staggered.
I understand.
Okay. You have any trouble with that? Since you're the enforcement and chairman, any trouble with that?
No, sir.
Very good.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else to speak on this topic? By the time poor Patrick comes, we'll say thanks. Okay, if no more questions from the board, we have a motion to close the public hearing on that then, and reconvene the meeting. Blake? And
Second, I'll second.
Williams, okay. We're back in the regular session. Now we would need a motion to amend the code of the Town of Orange, Chapter 81, Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Commission, Section 81-2. Oh, hold on a minute, we'll just find out what he found here.
On a 7-member board, 5 members can be from one political party.
Okay. What do you have?
Of course, I don't have who's.
I know more, let's see. What, anybody know? I don't know what, I think.
Well,
Mark?
these are the ones that were reappointed, right?
Yeah, but
So,
you-
Gunning,
Republican, Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. Oh, yeah. You got 1, 2,
I have too many Democrats.
we might,
I withdraw the motion.
thank you. I don't really know what all the people are on there, quite honestly. I don't,
Sounds like it's going to be fine.
I think it'll be okay. But I do invite people who want to serve. That's a tough commission to get people to want to serve on, too, so. Okay, with that all explored, we have a motion for this.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to change the code. Did we get a motion?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all set.
Oh, we're all
You
set?
Yeah, I thought you
All right.
seconded it.
The motion would
We
include...
had a motion to
Oh,
close.
the motion was, okay.
We had a motion to close.
right, go ahead.
Now I
Make the
can make a motion to amend the code of the Town of Orange, Chapter 81, Inland Wetlands Watercourses Commission, Section 81-2, Commission established membership terms and removal.
And I will second that as long as your motion includes the line that Vinnie will add concerning staggering terms.
Okay.
Okay?
The staggering.
Including the
Staggering.
staggering.
Staying any longer, I'd be staggering.
It's not St. Patrick's Day yet, Joe.
Easy now, easy now. Easy now. Okay, who seconded? Mitchell seconded that? Any more discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Unanimous. You're all set, gentlemen. I did forget, thinking of that, I believe last week was New Haven St. Patrick's Day Parade, and I believe this coming Sunday? What day is?
Monday, I think the 17th is going to be New York.
No, Milford. Saturday. Is it Saturday, Dennis? Thank you. What time? 1 p.m. 1 p.m. in Milford is the Milford St. Patrick's Day Parade, 1 p.m. in Milford. Thank you very much. It's the same time as the Easter egg hunt. I think my cousin is the Grand Marshal this year. No, of the parade. Okay, with that, we'll go back now to the minutes of our February 13th meeting, everybody. And, what? Oh. Yeah, Mitchell, I know that you are anxiously awaiting this
Well,
moment.
we'll just follow up that wetlands discussion with page 4, number 4. I think it should be included in discussion, because we did discuss it, that a change will be made in the ordinance that we just approved that would also eliminate the need for recommendations from the Conservation Commission and Town Plan and Zoning Commission for the
Oh, you took that out of it. huh?
wetlands. He did it correctly. I think the minutes should reflect that that's how that happened.
Oh,
That that's
okay.
why the
'Cause
change.
we did take it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ordinance in that respect was fine, it's just that it should be in the minutes that kind of gives you a history of how this
Okay.
happened. Also then on page 5, I mentioned this to Ann, and she said she would check for me. I don't know if she had a chance, but on numbers 9, 10, and 11, I'm not sure if each of those were supposed to be at that cost, or whether they were all not to, or any of them were not to exceed the cost. And if they're not to exceed, they should be in this part of that. I don't know, Ann, do you have a
They-
chance to check?
I-
On all three? Okay. So I'd like to correct the minutes to say not to exceed.
All right, that doesn't really matter to me greatly, because each of those items, if they came to us and went over that, or looked like they were going to go over that amount, they would have to come to us for more money. So, because we do set a specific amount, the 10,885 kind of number, the 9,000 number. So, I mean, we did set a number with each of those, but that's okay.
So with those, if those changes are acceptable, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with those changes.
Okay,
Thank you.
is there a second to that? Mrs. Williams, very good. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed, abstained, unanimous. As I sit here, I apologize, but things pop into my head, and I am so thrilled. I want to congratulate Mitchell. Mitchell got a new job, and Mitchell will be guiding the town of Guilford starting next week. Mitchell will be, got a job in Guilford, and he will be the human resource person out there, and I congratulate you on that. I know you like the municipal field, and I'm hoping it takes up a lot of your time. Congratulations,
Thank you,
Mitch.
thank you. As I said to them, I think there'll be things that I'll be able to bring back here, and things I'll be able to bring from us to them, so maybe
Oh, I
some
can hear
mutual
Carl
benefits.
already.
In that position, could you get us a job if we need one?
Just a small one.
I'll look for some openings.
Thank you. Very good, Mitch. Okay, under new business, item number 1, to consider and act on adopting the resolution allowing the town clerk of Orange to apply for the fiscal year 2009 Historic Preservation Grant. This is something that we've done on as long as I think I've been here, and Patrick is slowly updating all the paperwork in there. Patrick, select town clerk.
Thank you. This is my annual request for the Board of Selectmen to adopt a resolution allowing me to apply for a historic preservation grant from the state. And that's all there is to it.
And what's this year's target? Last year, I think it was some maps and stuff.
Yep. This year, we can apply for $7,000, again, as we did last year and the year before. And last year, we started the restoration of the maps that were on the old cardboard backed boards, and we've gotten the first batch in. We've gotten 100 maps in. Come on upstairs someday and look at them and see how they are now encapsulated, they're cleaned up, and they're going to be preserved for a long, long time. So this is the next phase. We'll probably do another 100 boards, and we'll probably do another couple hundred maps with this this grant.
What percentage is the completion?
Microphone.
What's the percentage of completion on that whole project?
We're about 40% complete, so I hope to have this done in 2.5 to 3 years. What I've been doing with And if, just to take a step back, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, the state legislature changed the law where the town clerk now collects an extra $3 for every document that's recorded, every land record that's recorded in the town, of which $2 goes to the state, $1 stays with the town. Those $2 have been accumulating up in Hartford, and that's how they get this money for the historic preservation grant, and that's how we have to apply for that. The $1...
It might be better to give us the $3 and
Yes,
save a lot of
true,
trouble.
true. Well, what they're also doing is, Tony, is they're also restoring a lot of the records that are up in Hartford. There are documents that are up there that have, been a low priority as far as historic preservation, and they're going back and restoring all that stuff. But to get back, that the dollar that we've been accumulating has been going into an account, and I've used some of that money to backfill for the $7,000. Like the first phase cost about $10,000 to fix these 100 maps, and so the second phase should just about do it, but we may have to next year use the same money for the maps. So it's just merely you have to adopt a resolution allowing me to do this.
Very good.
So moved.
Motion second, Goldblatt and Williams. Any more discussion on this? Hearing none. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Unanimous. Very good. They also got a new, we installed a new heating and cooling unit in the safe this week. Patrick, did they finish it today? No, not yet. There's a new heater unit. It's the same as these units, except it's actually mounted to the ceiling. And hopefully it will work to condition the area a little better and take care of dampness issues in the vault.
That's the one we approved last meeting.
Yeah, and it's all installed. It's not quite done yet, but it's almost. And also you approved, I think, 2 months ago, well, came back and forth a couple times, the new computer system in there. And if anybody's in the town hall, you go down there and see where the front counter used to be kind of bare is now the new computer system and screen and accounting and all that the clerk's office has taken on there for their department, Joe. So there's a lot been happening in the clerk's department there. Okay, very good. Next item, discussion on the results of the survey by the Orange Arts and Culture Council, Dr. Judy Primavera and Bonnie Capola. Okay, Dr. Judy is there. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Very well.
Okay. In late 2006, early 2007, we conducted an assessment of town residents. We surveyed asking them what they thought about the creation of an Orange Arts and Cultural Council. And what you have before you are the results. Clearly, Orange residents believe that it's important to have cultural offerings, not only in the greater New Haven area, which we know New Haven has a lot, but more specifically, they wanted more offerings in the town of Orange itself. They specifically wanted more a forum for live music, visual art exhibits, theater productions. And we asked about the obstacles, and they said, well, one of the main obstacles had to do with, finding out about them, a calendar of events. And again, very important, that there was a lack of a permanent space that was appropriate for showcasing such events. And there was a great enthusiasm for the creation of our Arts and Cultural Council, which is a good thing because we've created it. And they hoped that we would be able to provide them with that calendar to offer educational and entertainment activities, and actually that we would be an advocate for the founding of that permanent space. And a little bit more specifically, when I say there was a large enthusiasm, 99% of the people we polled said that it was important to have these events within the town. If we look over on question number 7, again, they want more music, more visual arts, more theater. And if we look at what they want the Arts Council to provide, in addition to the calendar, art in public spaces, exhibits and performances, arts education, workshops, all of those things are going to be greatly enhanced if we have a permanent space. That's one of our big problems now, finding spaces to do this in. And to conclude, I want to give you an update on what we've been doing. The big thing is the 501(c) application has been filed with the IRS and it's pending. In terms of our accomplishments so far, in May of 2007, we had an Orange Artisan Performance event in the town, in the community center, which was attended by hundreds of people. It was wonderful. We ran out of tickets in space. We had a culinary demonstration and tasting event in November of 2007, and again, that was fully attended, and more people wanted to come than we had space to allow. Right now, in March of 2008, there's a traveling Diego Rivera exhibit going through the 3 elementary schools that the Orange Arts and Cultural Council is sponsoring. In the future, we are looking towards a youth performance series, and we have funded a feasibility study of the Clark Building, and that feasibility study is upcoming.
This is,
That's it.
this is something that was a spin-off of the, excellent. She has her cheering squad there. Bonnie Capola, who's on this committee, and Pat Miller, who have people refer to her as the diva of Orange lately. Just so you know, Ms. Miller. But this was a spin-off of another one of the senior leadership groups started by Joanne Byrne, and they are bringing to fruition what started as what was your original group? Half a dozen?
6 of us.
6. So yeah, that's a half dozen. Very good.
I agree.
And they're working very hard at this. And when they came, they said, "Where are we going to go?" And they had met with Mr. Lieberman and one of the local architects, and they needed some money for this feasibility study, and they've done some events and worked very hard on that. And I think it's proven that there are a lot of people in town that like many different aspects of the arts, whether it's voice or sculpture or a painting hanging on the wall, food. I mean, it's tremendous the amount of things. Go to the art in the library. I've missed the last couple. They keep having conflicts with so many different things. But, I mean, and the crowds are growing. You go to the summer concerts, the groups are growing. Any events that there are going on in town, and they all are arts of a sort, the crowds are expanding. And actually, this will be of interest to you ladies. Item number 4 on our agenda tonight, Dan Lynch, who's the acting director, is sitting behind you there, Park and Rec. We're looking to approve a program, Little Voices Music Together program at Park and Rec is item number 4 tonight. So, I mean, it's starting with right from the little right up to our senior members of the community. So, very important and a lot of fun. And you make new friends and connect. And they're moving forward with this, and I support them wholeheartedly. So, very good. Thank you for your report. Okay, I hope all of you also. I'm speaking only for myself. Okay, Dan Lynch, Park and Rec. We have a couple items for Mr. Lynch. First one, to consider and act on bid waiver for Winkle Bus for summer camp transportation. Dan Lynch.
Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight?
So far, so good, Dan.
Okay. First consideration is the bid waiver for Winkle Bus Company. Around this time, usually around next month, we send out our bids to local bus companies for our summer camp transportation. I just think it's time that we need to send or have a bid waiver for Winkle Bus, because they have been doing our transportation for over 50 years for our summer camp, whether it's transportation to and from camp or our transportation to field trips, so on and so forth. So I'm asking the selectmen here for a bid waiver, just to save some time and save some money on doing these bids for our summer camp transportation.
Have they done this before? They're doing your transportation in the past
Winkle.
for the camp? Yeah.
Oh, every year.
All right, have you had any problems, any trouble, anything insurmountable that we need to know?
Not in my 8 years here, no. Just some pickup times are a little bit late, like on the first day of a session where that happens.
Well, you get because of new kids.
That's about it.
It's like when the children are starting the first day of school. I mean, that's always a
A very good relationship with Lori
issue.
Winkle, who I deal with every summer, so
and if there are problems or stuff, they're resolved
absolutely.
quickly. All right.
Yes.
Questions for Mr. Lynch? I don't have any on this particular item.
They know the community, they know the bus routes, they know the kids. I think it's just time for us to put a bid waiver on this. I actually feel bad sending it to them every year, because they have done it for so
That's
long.
all right. Okay, is there a motion on this?
I'd like to make a
Oh,
motion.
Real quick question
Mitchell,
for
other
a motion.
question here.
Have you got any indication of how their cost will be in comparison to last year's, especially based on the oil prices?
Over the last couple of years, Mitch, they have not gone up very much at all. Very minuscule rate. I'd say over the last couple of years, they have maybe gone up maybe $5. I know last year, I can definitely attest to that, they went up $5 from the previous year.
Fuel is the biggest driver, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Used to be labor years ago, now it's fuel. So,
Well, I would like to make a motion to go ahead and waive the bid waiver for the Winkle Bus Company so that they can do the summer camp. That's a good move.
second? Okay, Selectmen's Williams and Nastri. Any more discussion on this? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Unanimous, very good. Item number 4, to consider and act on the approval of the Little Voices Music Together program. I thought maybe the arts and entertainment ladies would stay to hear what this was.
This
ahead,
woman,
Dan.
Aniko Jonas, approached me a couple months ago about this Little Voices Music Together program. She teaches it here in Orange. She's not from Orange, she's from Trumbull. She teaches it at Shagbark, and this is something totally a lot different than what we offer at this time. It's for children from birth to 5. It's a music and movement program for children and their families and their mothers, fathers, whoever would like to come. Something
And
definitely a little different, but sure.
Have you had any feedback on this? Any parents requesting it ahead of time, or any?
No parents have requested. She's the one that came to me. She has 6 families that she deals with in Orange with this program. She's looking to expand. She needs to maybe get into the community center in one of our classrooms and run this.
Okay, and do you know what cost is on this, for how long a period of time, that sort of thing?
For 10 weeks, which is much longer than any other program that we run. We usually run 6 weeks to 8 week programs. It's $175 per child for 10 weeks.
Okay.
And that includes a book, a song book, and 2 CDs, and a parent guide for new families.
Okay.
That actually, when I broke it down to 10 weeks, it's pretty much the same amount that we would charge for any other program that was 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay, and just
much difference.
one more thing, Dan.
Yep.
I don't know this person, I don't know if you do, but as we move forward with programs, in light of all the craziness that happens out there, I just urge you, as currently the acting director of Park and Recreation, to, get reference on people, check them a little bit, please, since they are working with our children of the town here. I want them to make sure that everything is on the up and up there.
I will take care of that.
Be an interesting one, because I've heard a lot, being a grandfather, I've heard a lot of singing at 5. I haven't heard too much at birth. Be interesting to see.
It's called singing.
Huh?
You may
I've
think
heard
it's
a lot of
crying.
crying, but that's going to be an interesting program.
I don't know how many they're going to get with the birth age range there, but
knows exactly what we're talking about.
I actually went to I think it's in Monroe or something. They have a store for kids like this, and it's a program like this, and we participated with our kids, and it's a very good program, and you'll be amazed at what they do with the babies, and how the babies respond to to it. So it's all about growth and learning at an early age.
Poppy, you'll be attending. Kate, Grandpa's very interested in this.
Okay, get that
And,
135 ready.
and Deb, you've probably already written the check, Deb. I think Jason would like to go to this. Okay. Yes, Mitchell?
Dan, a couple questions having to do with the fees. First of all, is the fee for the 6-week sampler session the same as the 10-week sessions? You show $175 per child for fees.
No, it would be 3 weeks,
Less.
6 weeks. It would definitely be a lot cheaper. She just doesn't have the fee on here.
Okay, that's fine. Now, you're saying that she is charging us or charging directly $175? Is that, did I hear you correctly? Or is that the charge that the Park and
That's the
Rec? is
program
putting on?
charge.
That's the program charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last thing is there any difference in town resident fee versus,
And anything that we do, non-residents pay $10 more.
okay.
Does she currently have classes in Trumbull? Or is this
Nope,
going to
she
be her
has
first?
classes. Yeah, she has
Just-
classes in Orange.
This is the only place that she does. You said down at Shagbark?
This company that this company she works for is based out of Trumbull. That's where she started this, and it's now branched out to local
Yeah.
area towns.
And has Wendy given you any feedback on the success of it
no,
down
but
there?
that's somebody I could talk to.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that'd be great.
And I will do the reference thing as you asked, Jim.
Yeah, I think that's important, and
They all
also,
hand in references. It's just you
yeah,
gotta check
well, just so long as you
Yep.
handle that. I mean, you've done a lot with this department, but you are moving into a position that sometimes things you didn't have to do. I think also it should be stated on here that the non-resident fee, it should list it, resident, non-resident, just in case you get into a ticklish situation. There, I think that's important.
Okay.
With that said, anything else? If not, do we have a motion on that?
Motion to approve with that slight change, just showing the change in fee for non-residents.
Very good.
And also, I think you should also show what the
6-week.
fee is for the 6-week program as well.
Okay, Goldblatt and Blake, was it? Okay, any more discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, unanimous.
Thank you.
Very good, Dan.
Have a good evening.
Good night. Item number 5, to consider and act on bids to repair 7 heat pumps at the Case Memorial Library. Mr. Lieberman.
26. 26,
26.
yes. Well, we're going to have to do more next year. If Mitchell remember, there was a meeting in his office where some experts told us that the pumps will only last 8 to 10 years or less. We were told that by others that it might go to 12. We're right in between, and so they were close. They failed. The company that we hired to inspect and maintain these pumps really did a job. They went up and found heat pumps that hadn't worked in a couple of years, that nobody else would go up. These are all in the attic, and they're impossible to get to. I don't see, maybe Bob could squeeze into, and Joe could squeeze into the space that is up there to look at these pumps. However, these pumps have to be replaced, so we have some air conditioning anytime the weather gets warm. And we have the cost. I called at least a dozen firms, and 6 of them said they weren't about to go up and look at these pumps. It wasn't worth their time. The other 6 said, yeah, they'll give me a price. 4 of the 6 did. They were all higher than the company that we have working on the pumps right now, inspecting and trying to maintain them. Maintenance is a small item. It's inspection.
Ed, is there and I don't know what these pumps are, I've never seen one, and I know I couldn't fit into the space
Neither can I.
where it needed to be changed. But is there a alternative? I mean, since this library was built, things have changed, engineering has changed. I know that Bob DeFeo is on that committee, and I think if there was something, he would bring it to your attention. Has he brought anything, new technology or anything in regards to this? To get
No.
them out of these spots where they are and it's easier to...
The only alternative is a completely different heating and air conditioning system. The one that was originally
That's not
designed.
an alternative.
Well, the price on
That's
tag
what I
on this
mean.
is out of this world. The original system that was designed would not have those heat pumps. But I
Okay.
think the committee that was in charge of the library had a budget problem.
A couple.
How would solar impact that?
You still need the pumps to move the fluids.
No, I don't think so. We looked at that. A mechanical engineer looked at it, and the payback time was not too good. Payback time. I know.
All right.
So I'm
Well-
asking for approval to have our current contractor repair the pumps at a price of $13,366, making a not-to-exceed amount.
Is that who's done the work over there prior?
Yes. No, they have been here for a year, and they've done a great job.
Where are they from, Ed?
Saybrook or Westbrook, I forget where. I contacted all the towns they work for up there, and they came with the most glowing recommendations they ever got. And we hope to be able to use them for other things here, because they have done a fantastic job. They're not afraid to go up there and work.
Okay.
There've been no complaints since they've been working here.
I do have confidence in this. I will say, I'll take your approval in a second, Selectman Nastri, but I have confidence in this, knowing that Mr. DeFeo is on this particular committee, and that's where, his tremendous depth of knowledge in mechanicals and all that. And I find this very frustrating, but unfortunately, it's a design issue, and we have to move with it. So we have a motion from Selectman Nastri, and that motion should read, Selectman Nastri, how? Mike?
That we approve the bid for Temp Tech's estimate for repair of the heat pumps in the amount of $13,366.
Okay. Any discussion on that? Second on that? Ms. Williams? Mitchell, do you want a not to exceed on that?
Yes. No, I would, and I had some other thought. I can't.
What's the matter?
It just flew out of my head.
About the person or the product? Or
No, about the work, but I just, I know what it was. My question was, where's the money for this coming from?
My budget.
Your budget, okay.
Okay. And Stacia told you have money for this, right?
No, Pam did.
Okay. Very good. Okay. As long as somebody did.
He knows the right
Okay,
answers.
with that said, any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, unanimous, very good. Okay, the next one, Mr. Lieberman, is item number 6, to consider and act on proposal for white metal recycling disposal from shared recycling.
This gentleman was sent to us by his father, who currently removes the Freon from our equipment down there. It's a fairly new company, and he's proposing, what he will do is pick up our white metal and pay us 4 times what we're getting for it now. We will not have to load this into the container as we do now with the rest of the white metal. What happens to this with his company, they take it apart, and the parts are then recycled via other companies that specialize in whatever they get out of this equipment. And we're not talking a lot of money, but I figure it saves wear and tear on our equipment and a little time on the people working down there, and whatever money we get, it's to our benefit.
All right, Ed, this one, I was reading it earlier, and it says to me they'll pay for air conditioners and dehumidifiers. And I know the man that comes and gets the Freon does the refrigerators and coolers and freezers and that sort of thing. But it doesn't say here that they're taking that, but it is called a white metal recycling, but they're doing only air conditioners, dehumidifiers?
And small refrigerators. He can't handle the big stand-up refrigerators.
Okay.
And if you look, I think I made copies of his brochure. He's going to get into something later, hopefully, that we're going to have to do by law. That's recycling of proper disposal
Of the rest of the white metals.
white metal, computers, these bulbs.
Yeah. Well, I have no trouble with that. You all know how I feel about green. So with that,
I definitely make a motion. And my daughter, I wish she was watching this right now because she'd be very proud of me and proud of the town.
why, where is she?
My environmentalist over in London.
Oh, that's right. That one I was thinking
Yeah,
of.
so I definitely make a motion that we have this company come and take away all the white metal from, and recycle it properly.
I'll make a definite second.
Thank you.
More discussion. Mitchell.
Discussion, yeah. I would have made the motion second as well, because I think it's great that we're doing more recycling, and I applaud the efforts of everyone involved. However, I have two quick questions. One is that the contract they put forward says period performances from February 27th from this year to next year, and obviously we're past that date. Will that be extended
We
for a
we
year
can
more?
change it. We
Okay.
just change it on the
Second-
form.
I must be missing something because I'm confused when I read their brochure. It says most business and municipalities simply scrap these units and are paid on average between $20 and $60 a ton.
Correct.
Now, currently, we're being paid $11, and they're going to bring it to $40. Shared recycling pays on average between $100 and $200 a ton for the same units. So I don't understand why, if they're saying in their brochure they pay between $100 and $200 a ton, why they're offering us $40 a ton.
The brochure is a very nice attention getter.
Now,
Okay.
I would definitely question. I mean, I'm
I'm
all for this.
paying you that much money. Those things don't weigh that much.
You're, what we have,
It's in here
and what
twice.
we would get out of it is very minuscule. We don't make much money on the metal as it is, so
No.
anything we can get,
Well, and as you say, the savings too on the wear and tear of the equipment
Exactly.
and the fuel and stuff
Yeah.
right there is an additional savings that you could factor in.
because what'll happen is his father will tell him, I've emptied these things, and he'll come the next day and pick them up. We don't have to do a thing.
All right. Well, I'm all for the motion. I just want Ed just to look into why their brochure says in two places they pay an average 100 to 200, and they're offering us 40.
Ed, can you find that out, please?
Yes, I
Because
can.
if it works for Orange, they're going to do it in Guilford.
I certainly will ask him.
Very good. With that said, all those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Unanimous. Well, he said he's going to take things to them and bring things to us. Okay, item number 7, to consider and act on bids for street sweeping of town roadways. Mr. Lieberman again.
Okay, we received 2 bids, and the one bid we received 3 bids, actually. If you look at my analysis, CSS of Shelton actually will save us money because of the per mile cost. The gentleman that's in charge of that has a lot of experience in street sweeping. He's worked for 2 other companies that we've used. This is something that we debated for quite a bit because we didn't use much sand. However, the last storm we did use sand. We also have to sweep the loose particles from last year's chip sealing, and we have to sweep before we chip seal the new ones and after we chip seal. And if you look along the roadside, there are a lot of stones on almost every street. There's some leaves that never been picked up. So
Okay.
keeping them from going into the catch basins, we might just as well sweep all the streets.
We're not quite sure yet
Well,
how we're going to proceed with this, everybody. We did talk about it.
Yes.
Donnie and Ed and I have talked about it. But we needed to get this approved. They bid it, and you have the bid before you. But we didn't use that much material this year. They didn't use much sand until the last 2 weeks. Some areas where there's certain pockets and bends and turns that hold it, and some places don't. So we may try some options, may do, part or not, part without half. There's some other options out there. It's, a tight season coming up with a very tight budget, actually.
Is this the type of contract that you could set it up and, for instance, have them start doing some of the spring cleanup, and then, as you said, hold them off to do the chip seal and, use the...
Or either or.
yes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We
But
just
this way
want-
you have a price for doing that work.
Yeah, the hourly rate is for the chip sealing, cleaning up the chip sealing. The per mile rate is when we just do the
So
other
what are you
streets.
asking us to approve then?
The whole thing with the idea.
Total? If
Yes,
we
the
don't know
total.
how many miles they're going to do, or how...
Well,
How
It's
many
kind
hours?
of,
We have to do it all.
it's kind of a not to exceed.
Well, how do we know that the... How does this measure
Might do 50.
the total job?
that's it. The total job is what's in front of you.
This would be an estimate if you did everything.
Right.
That's right.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yes, that's it.
Question, Mitchell, yes.
Yeah, I don't know what we've done in terms of hours in the past, but because of the less sand, and because of the fact we use the salt mixture, which I'm sure is dissolved in the most places, for some of the roads this year, wouldn't the hours be less, because it'd be less time, you'd be picking up less, so you wouldn't have to dump it as much, and...
They're still driving.
You have to go.
But don't you, don't they fill up and have to then unload
Yeah, the
and
dumping
stuff?
doesn't take much time. A truck pulls up next to it, it goes up.
Okay.
sit,
Dumping
and out.
is our, we take it from
Okay,
them.
so the hours is pretty much the same based on the speed of
Yes.
the...
Yeah,
The hours
they
is for the
can't,
chip
you can't
sealing.
go very fast.
No.
Okay.
So, all right?
So what would determine between 60 and 80 hours then? That's just an estimate, you're saying?
That's for the chip sealing. That's,
I got you.
okay?
Yeah.
Because when we do it for the rest of the roads, they just go down the road.
Yeah, chip sealing is a slower and more,
Very
you have to
slow.
do the whole road. With that said, do we have a motion on the table?
I make the motion on a not-to-exceed basis, the figures for CSS, in the amounts of 42,520 and 44,760.
Very good. Any more, is there a second on that?
Second.
Mr. Blake, Nastri, then Blake. Is there any more discussion on that?
Was this the company that was used last year? or-
No.
Different
You
company.
said that
The man
someone-
that,
Different
the
company.
man that's running this company worked for the company that we used last year and the year before that.
Would you like to address the board?
he bring-
Are you CSS? If you would like to address the board, come on up. I had a feeling.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gene Stacy. I've been in the industry 31 years. I was responsible for overseeing your roads for the last 3. 2 years as general manager for DeSantis Inc., and last year for pavement maintenance service as CEO. Unfortunate situations came up. They decided to replace me, and so I went back on my own. I've been in the industry forever. I have good equipment, I have good people, and we'll come in and do a great job for you. I brought the price down, not to be playing with my competitors, but because the sand is a little bit less, so I brought the price down. And I'm looking forward to doing your work.
Very good.
Okay?
Any
If
questions
there's
for
any other
this?
questions, be glad to answer them.
So you've just started up this company this past year?
In November.
In November? Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Good.
The same thing happened actually last year. Pavement Maintenance Services was, DeSantis was bought out by another company, and Pavement Maintenance Service was actually a new owner last year. I was the CEO at the time, but then a friend of his retired, and he brought him in and replaced me. So I said,
Very good.
I've been doing it a long time. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Motion made, done. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Unanimous. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Okay, Mr. Lieberman. Are you going to stay for the discussion under executive? You don't have to.
If you want me to, I will.
Well, you don't have to, but if you want to, Mr. Heiser's here, so I don't.
I can catch up.
That's fine, okay. There's a reason that we'll talk about it another time, why I said what I said about sweeping, but we're not gonna go into it yet, just so you know. Item number 8, the way this is written, to consider and act on plan for Edison Road project between Town and Turner Miller Group. This is not the Edison Road project that we talked about last month in regards to building the road. This is zoning through money through OEDC, grant money, that they interviewed and they landed on this Turner Miller Group, and it tells what they're going to do further in it, but there was some confusion as to if this was what we discussed last month. It is not. This is actually study of the commercial industrial corridor, the Indian River, Marsh Hill, Edison Road region up there, and it will be data that will be compiled that they will use in the comprehensive town plan. And so there was some confusion, I know, thinking that it was what we talked about last month, and it's not.
I think that my question was that this is being asked for by the Town Planning and Zoning Commission, whose responsibility it is to come up with the revised comprehensive town plan.
Right.
So they're the ones that judged that this work.
They interviewed, and this was the one they chose.
Thank you.
Yes.
And was this grant money, did it cover the entire cost for
Yes.
the study?
Yep. Yep. So it's kind of a good deal. Any questions on it? If not, it's a joint venture. I mean, Paul Grimmer, our OEDC chairman, the director, and the zoning board have been working for several months hand in hand to put this together, and it's another benefit of that joint venture. So all right.
moved.
Very good. A second on that? Selectman Goldblatt, then Nastri. Any more discussion on that? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, unanimous. Very good. Item number 9, to consider and act on tax refunds for the month of March in the amount of $6,639.29. Any of us on there? Okay. Motion made by Selectman Blake.
Second?
Selectman Williams, second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained, unanimous. Very good. Committees. Personnel Committee did not meet this month. We didn't have anything. I think we will be meeting for next month, though. Capital Planning, we will skip over since Selectman Okenquist was unable to be with us tonight. Pension Board.
The Pension Board met on February 21st, and we reviewed the performance for the past quarter. And there's been some degradation in performance in 2 areas on the portfolio, but not serious. The projected income is still in the 5.2% range. There are 2 areas where the managers are being watched, and the feeling of the advisor is that they will recover. And they're not recommending any changes to the portfolio at this time.
I think we're all facing some of that. Anybody who has any sort of investments.
Yeah, I was talking to Al on the other project I'm working on, and he sent me an email saying that the town of Danbury put out a note for or bonds for $10 million, and they got quotes as low as 2.25%.
Really?
To borrow the money. Yes. Yes.
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen. Well, no, once before we had one that was, oh boy, that is low, though.
So when people are going for municipal bonds at 2.25%, then you know that it's difficult to achieve higher interest rates.
Yeah, I'm very concerned about that. Very good. Renovations at the community center. Thank you, Tony.
I really have no report.
Okay. We will move into executive session. Yes, Mitchell?
Before we move to executive session,
Go ahead.
I noticed Pam's not here tonight, so it's maybe a little unfair. I just had some questions about the budget. I don't know if you want to take on a couple of questions about the budget, or...
If I can, I will. She
All right.
will be back in on Friday.
Okay, because
Monday or
there's
Friday.
just three areas I have some concern about.
Go ahead.
I know one of them you'll be able to address. First one that you will be able to address, I'm sure.
Hold
is- Okay.
Are we looking into which?
We're looking into the Board of Finance monthly summary report. The one I'm sure you'll have an answer for me is on page, I guess it's 9, the regional dog pound, animal control. We're not quite 3/4 of the way through the year, and we're about 112% on that budget. In other words, we're 12% over budget at this point, which I thought we paid quarterly, and we're
The
Like I say,
number
over
that, let's see the number. Oh, here it is.
we had budgeted 64,008, and we
yes,
paid 73,100.
Because the correct number is the 73.
Is that the
number.
one, okay, then we ask, second question then, is that the full expenditure for the year?
Yes, they're all paid.
It's all paid?
Yes.
Okay, that's a little reassuring. And why was it so far off from the Board of Finance, do we know?
I don't know why they entered the figure that was entered. I was not involved previously, but the 74,000 number is the correct number for this budget that we are in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly. For some reason, they were $8,300 off, and I don't know why they entered that number.
Okay. Second question, which I'm pretty sure is a misposting, but I'm
Where are
going
you?
to ask it. It's going to be back on page 4, under the town clerk. The fifth line down is longevity. The budget is $980, and we've expended $2,200. That's an odd number, too, because longevity, the 980, looks right to me.
That's a misposting, Mitch.
So that may be a mispost and needs to
Because
be
the only one who
corrected.
gets longevity in there
Mary
is
Jane.
Mary Jane.
Right.
So for some reason, that's, Ann, can you make a note of that for them? That's definitely a misposting on page 4.
And then the last one is on page, my page numbers are cut off. I believe it's page 20. Be under Park and Recreation Pool. I know heating fuel's gone up, but I thought we had locked it in as far as price for the year, and we are 45% or 19, almost $20,000 over budget at this point for heating fuel at the pool.
Park and Rec, Park and-
I wanted to see if there's a problem there we don't know about. $43,000, you've already expended almost $63,000. So those, from getting, and I appreciate getting these reports that we
I-
always have, and those are things that just concern me looking at this.
Mitch, I'll just say that it is an increase in, you know what, there was an increase when they bid it, and I thought this was a little peculiar. I was on Pam about this. I do know what that is. When they bid the fuel, the new fuel didn't kick in until January 1.
Okay.
Because we had a carryover of fuel.
Right.
But then they used up the carryover of fuel, and the way the bid was set up for the fuel, you didn't have the lock on buy before January 1,
Right.
is what happened there.
All right.
Yeah, that was a rather unhappy moment
Okay.
for us, but that's exactly what that was.
So we need to be concerned it doesn't happen again.
It will not happen again, I assure you.
All righty.
The bids, actually, they did open bids for fuel last week. This is a consortium bid with Amity, Bethany, Orange, Woodbridge. And the prices were out of sight, quite honestly. The town with no taxes on it was looking at $3 fuel, $3 diesel.
The going right now is 340.
Yep, he's got it on.
Oh, I had it on.
Yeah.
There you go.
I pressed the wrong
Okay.
button.
Yeah,
It's 340?
Yeah, I know one person here in town with the fuel tax on it and all, at the rack last week, paid over $4 a gallon. So, and they buy, a tanker at a time. So we haven't locked in on fuel prices yet. While Pam is not here, I am the contact person for Tony Genovese, who's the finance officer for Woodbridge, and Jack Levine at Amity. And we are monitoring the price closely.
What was our last lock-in price?
223, I believe we're at, 223, 224.
That was a good negotiation.
Yeah.
Well, that was locked in 2 years ago, wasn't it? That was locked in 2 years ago.
No, the year before
The
that,
one-
we were $1.96 or $1.98.
The one where we had extra fuel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One last thing, Jim, before
Yes, Mitch.
I'm sorry, I thought I had it on. Before we go into executive session, without getting into something that may be personal, I want Attorney Marino to just assure us that item number 1 is something that is appropriate for executive session. Because in reading, I talked to Jim about this, and and he said he would talk to you. I just want to make sure, it didn't seem on the face of it that it'd be an executive session item. And I want to make sure that we are... may not want it discussed in public, but is it something that legally falls under executive session? That's my concern. If you want to take a recess at this point to look at that, that's fine with me, too.
I move for a 5-minute recess.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
explain it, that's fine.
Okay. Is that all right,
Well,
Dave?
why don't we, all right, yeah, we can't go into executive session if you,
Microphone, Jim.
that's, you want to take
You
a,
want to add, you didn't add that other item, did you?
no, we're going to have to make a motion for that as well.
We'll recess and then we'll come back.
All right, we will take a 5-minute recess at 8:45, gentlemen. Yes, we will. All right, we're back into public session at 8:50. Got a glare just right on that. We need a motion to move an item from executive session into open session. It is for the town to waive first right of refusal on 354 Smith Farm Road.
So moved.
Very good. Motion, is there a second? Goldblatt and Williams. Okay, what this is for refinance at 354 Smith Farm Road. And all it is that the lender is requesting a waiver of our first right of refusal on the title for that. We still own the property. We're not putting ourselves in a lesser position.
So moved.
Very good. And second, Goldblatt and Williams. Is there any more discussion on this? Hearing none. All those in favor? Okay. Before we go into executive session, we need to add one to executive session. I need a motion to add discussion, it's strictly discussion at this time, possible vote when we come out of executive session in regards to the eminent domain of taking of a portion of Edison Road, or future Edison Road from Ernest Cuzzacrio and Cuz Acres property. We met with the attorney and the named this afternoon, so we said we would add it for discussion. Very good and possible vote. Thank you. Okay, so now we will go into executive session at 8:52 to consider discussion and possible action on the Mary L. Tracy parking lot project, and I would like you to invite Robert Heisen and, of course, Town Council on that. And item number 2 now would be the discussion of the Ernest Cuzzacrio property, Edison Road, eminent domain case there. This is rather interesting, and before you go into it, I'm a little perplexed because I don't know what Mr. Heise is going to present. So I don't know if I have to recuse myself. I have recused myself so far on this Mary L. Tracy parking lot issue. So I will continue with that, but I have no idea what he's going to...
I'd like to make a suggestion that you remain for the part in the discussion of what Mr. Heise is going to present, and when you feel you're in the area that you want to recuse yourself from it, then I'm sure we will honor that request.
That's fine. If you all feel that way, I'll stay, and I'll let you know if there's...
Yeah, I think it's important that you do stay.
All right, because I don't know what he's going to present. I haven't seen it. So, all right, with that said, we will have a motion go into executive session at...
I make a motion.
Very good. At 8:53. Look, I got the glare 52. Thank you. Okay, we're back in from executive session at 10:25 by the clock on the wall. Item number 2, well, what became item number 1 was the Mary L. Tracy parking lot discussion. And at this time, we will still be having discussions on that moving forward. There'll be no action taken, I believe, is the consensus on that. The item that became item number 2 in regards to a 3/4 acre piece of land which will become part of Edison Road in the eminent domain suit with Cuz Acres and Ernest Cuzzacrio. Do we have a motion to proceed?
I have a motion that the town attorney proceed with negotiation on the purchase of that piece of parcel.
Okay. Is there a second to that? Okay. Motion by Mr. Blake, second by Selectman Williams. Is there any other discussion on that? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Unanimous, okay. Is there any other business that you would like to come before this?
I make a
Board?
motion to adjourn.
Very good. We are adjourned at 10:27. Thank you all, and good night to all.